Hello. Hello. How's it going? Nice to see you again. It's been a minute. Um, I was away at Dice Tower East for a little bit. And so it's been a couple weeks I think since I streamed last. So, glad to be back. How are y'all doing out there? How have you been the last couple weeks? Anything exciting happened for you? Any wins? Please tell me your wins. I love to hear about your wins. There's a lot to talk about. I want to tell you about Dice Tower. This was my first time going to a Dice Tower event. If you don't know, they're like a big YouTube channel, big board game YouTube channel. They mostly do reviews, but they also host these board gaming events, these big conferences, where the main focus is on playing games, not buying games or demoing games or panels or things like that. It's mainly about having a big library, a really nicely curated, large library, taking games out and playing them. And so I enjoy those types of cons. I didn't pitch anything. I didn't play test anything. I do enjoy going to playtesting conventions. That's the main thing that you do there, which I will be going to in November in Vancouver, called ProtoCon BC. But I also really enjoy just playing board games and taking a break, because I mainly play prototypes, play other people's prototypes, my prototypes. So it's nice to just play games and hang out. So I really enjoyed it. It was down in Orlando, Florida. So it was very hot and steamy and humid outside. And then as soon as you went into the board game, like into the hotel space, into the convention space, it was absolutely freezing. It was so cold. And my friends warned me, my friends who live in Orlando, they warned me that it gets so freezing cold in the convention area to bring like multiple layers of clothes. And so I brought a hoodie, which is crazy to bring a hoodie down to Florida, but I did, and it wasn't enough. I was so cold the whole time. And then you go outside and you're boiling. So it was just like boiling, freezing. So that was not ideal. Like, people were huddled in blankets. People had like full on onesies. Like, people were freezing. And so hopefully they can kind of adjust that a little bit, because I genuinely would hesitate to go to that again, because it was uncomfortably cold the entire time. But besides that, sorry, I'm just like going straight to complaining, but it was super fun. Like I said, a massive library that's very nicely organized. They had a great system for checking out games and bringing them back, and clearly they've done this many times. It was super organized, and they had a really great app that you can use that it looks like a bunch of different organizations can use it. Like a convention I'm going to in Calgary next month is using it. Oh, hey, Nep, how you doing? Nice to see you. And it's called Cardboard Events, I believe. And in this, I actually don't know if they have an app, but through their website, you can see which games are available to take out in the library and which ones are checked out. You can also see where in the library it is located. So that was so helpful, because I had my friend there who's never been to a board game convention before, ever. It was her very first time. And so I really wanted to pick out games that I thought she would enjoy. And so it was a lot easier just to search for a specific game rather than try to find it. Because honestly, I could not figure out their categorization system. I watched the documentary called The Hobby a couple weeks ago about the board game industry. And Tom Vassell was talking about how he enjoys the way that he categorizes games better than other people. Like, he doesn't do it alphabetically. And I could not figure out what the categorization system was. I think it was a bit by genre, but then a bit by box size, and I don't know. So looking things up was a lot easier, and then just going to that spot and taking the game out. And then if a game was out, you could put your name down on the wait list, and then it would email you when that game was back in the library, which was very, very cool especially for games that were, very popular and were always taken out. So yeah, that was very cool. So what games did I play? Let me show you what games I played. I played 11 games. We were there for 3 of the 5 days of the convention. So it runs Wednesday to Sunday, and we were there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Didn't go on Wednesday or Sunday. So for the 3 days, we played 11 games. And let me go over what games I played. I'll share my screen with you here. Okay, so let me find my list. Okay, first one was The Gang. The Gang. So this was a cooperative poker game. And similar to The Mind, if you've played that, there's no communication, like no verbal communication, but you can. So basically, everyone gets dealt 2 cards, like in Texas Hold'em, and then cards are turned over, just like Texas Hold'em. Over here, like the river and the flop and whatever. And then based on your cards and the cards that are turned over, you'll take one of these chips down here, and if you have what you think is a really good hand, you would take a higher number chip, and if you have a really bad hand, you would take a lower number chip. But the thing is, you don't know what anyone else has. And so you're kind of going off vibes a little bit of, I have a really good hand, but you could have a better hand. I don't know. And so you just have to kind of figure out who's taking the 4, who's taking the 5, just by kind of, just like in The Mind, just kind of trying to go off vibes. So it's a very interesting and very clever and simple, straightforward idea. Like the core mechanic is so interesting and just seems very obvious in retrospect. And I love games like that where it's like, how did no one think of this before? Like it's a very smart idea. From a gameplay perspective, I didn't love it. Just I think it was partly due with the people we were playing with. We just sat with strangers, and one of them was like getting annoyed with other people if they got the order wrong by 1 card. And it's like, how are you, like, you can't read minds. How are you supposed to know? And so he just kind of made the whole experience not super fun. If he wasn't there, then I think I probably would have enjoyed it more. So I think this game really, really depends on who you play it with. But I think if I play this with my friends, chill people, I think it could be a lot of fun. They try to gamify it even more by having these cards that are turned over. So basically, yeah, after all the cards are turned over in the middle, everyone reveals their 2 cards. And then if you got the order of your rankings of cards correct, you would win that round. You have to get your order, your rank of hands correct, every single one, to pass that round. If you don't, then you'll turn over a card here that will help you in the next round. But if you lose 3, you lose the game. So it was interesting for sure. Very cool concept, but I do think it depends on who you play it with. Oh, interesting. Neb says if their collection was big enough to need categorization, they'd probably go by weight. Okay. Oh my God. I thought you meant like literal weight. I was like, what? You're going to weigh each game and go by the... No, sorry. By complexity weight. Yes. That would make a lot of sense. Yeah, I like that. So would you just go off like the BGG weight ranking or your own personal weight ranking? That's a cool idea. That makes a lot of sense. For me, my games are all over the place right now. Yeah, there's really no categorization. I tried alphabetical. I tried genre. Right now, again, yeah, I don't have a huge collection. I have, I believe, like 55 or so. And I do want to bring that down. But they're basically not organized at all. All I've done is have 5 games facing outward that I like the artwork of. And then the rest are just kind of hidden behind them. So that's my system right now. And it's fine. Okay, so that was the gang. Very cool. Let's see who designed this one. So that was published by Cosmos and designed by John Cooper and Corey Heath. Very cool. Very cool cover as well. I love that. Oh, so you're trying to like crack a code to get into a vault, I guess? I don't really know the story. But yeah, very interesting game. Okay, Neb, so you would personally classify all of your games. You would decide what you think each of their weights are, and then you would categorize by that. That's cool. Would you make like little labels, like the games in this section are 0 to 1 point weight, and then the games in this section are 1 to 2, 2 to 3, etc.? Or would you just kind of know? Okay, the next game that I'm not really going in the order of that I played them. I'm just kind of going through my list. But the next game I'll tell you about that I played at Dice Tower was Stamp Swap, designed by Paul Solomon, who now heads up I don't really know exactly what his title is, but he's at Gamehead Games. And they are publishing games now, and they are actively looking for new game submissions. So definitely check out Gamehead Games if you're looking for a new publisher to pitch to. I know Paul is very active in reviewing game ideas right now. So very cool. And he also did Honey Buzz, Paul Solomon. But this one is Stamp Swap. This is my first time playing Stamp Swap. And in this game, whoa. Oh, hello. Hello. Thank you for following me on Twitch. Manu de Juego. Manu de Juego. Let me know if I said that right. It's a little hard to read. Yeah. Hello. Thank you so much for following me over on Twitch. I appreciate that. Yeah, anyone watching on YouTube, I'm also on Twitch. If you prefer that, totally doesn't matter. Up to you. Does not matter to me at all. I just like to give people the option. Cool. But yeah, so this is Stamp Swap. And yeah, so it's an I cut you choose game. There's drafting and I cut you choose. So, oh, hello. Oh, wow. Joe's rating. Oh my goodness. Oh, I've never seen the little rating animation before. Hello. Oh, and Joe subscribe. There's so much happening right now. Holy moly. Thank you, Joe. Joe, I was watching a documentary yesterday on YouTube about the making of Animal Well. I think you would really enjoy it. Can't remember the channel I found it on, but it was very, very cool. Yeah, definitely check it out. It was a really well done documentary on YouTube. Very cool game. Joe streamed playing Animal Well. Very fun. Everyone go follow Joe as well. Manu is from Chile. Feya's Swamp. I don't know Feya's Swamp. Is that on BGG? Feya's Swamp. 2025, so it's very new. Ooh, this looks cool. Wow, I love that art style. That art style alone would possibly convince me to buy it. Let's see what it's all about. Is this made by a Chilean designer? Here, let's go back. In Feya's Swamp, you take on the role of a clan of swamp dwellers aiming to become the most prosperous in the area. To succeed, you need to adapt to your surroundings by finding the best fishing and settlement spots, as well as choosing the right trading partners. You can also venture into nearby abandoned temples where powerful deities lie in wait to be awakened. Mechanisms, area movement. What does that mean, area movement? Game board is divided into irregularly shaped areas to determine adjacency and movement. This can be contrasted to point movement. Oh, okay. You're just moving from one area to another. Okay. I didn't realize that was classified as its own separate thing, but that's cool. Endgame bonuses, hexagon grid, income, rolls with asymmetric information. Tile placement, variable player powers, and worker placement. Ooh, that's a lot of cool stuff going on in there. Thanks for letting us know about that one. Okay. Yeah, Nep is talking about categorizing his board games by complexity, and I think that's an interesting idea. It's a game from Fractal designer Helge and Anselm Ostertag. It's a Chilean game. Oh, that's very cool. Designer of Gaia Project and Terra Mystica, which also has area movement. Let's see what games they show as examples of area. Oh, I thought maybe it would be one of the top ones here. Cool. And was it Concordia also has area movement? Let's see what they have here. Area movement. Yeah, Pax Pamir. Just want to see. Oh, whatever. Yeah. Cool. That's awesome. Thanks for letting us know about that one. I had not heard of it. But yeah, so to all the raiders, hello. I'm just talking about I went to Dice Tower East last weekend. It was my first time going to a Dice Tower event. And so I'm just going over the games that I played. So far, I've talked about the gang, and then we were talking about Stamp Swap. So yeah, Stamp Swap, there's drafting and I cut, you choose. So you are drafting stamps. But the thing is, you won't get to place all of those stamps into your little scrapbook. You're going to be making 2 piles with the stamps that you draft. And then and some other player is going to take one of your 2 piles. So you will be able to place like half of the tiles that you draft, but you won't be able to place the other half. Another player will get those. And so it's interesting because you're not always just drafting everything that you want. Although maybe you could, and maybe you'll just be happy with either pile. Maybe that's a way to go. But maybe you want to draft things that you want, that other people are going for, so that they will for sure take that pile and then leave you the pile that you really want. So that's interesting for sure. It's an interesting mechanic. And then they have these goals that you are going for at the end of each round. And there's only 3 rounds. So you can only claim 3 of these. So it was pretty tough to get everything done you wanted to get done in just those 3 rounds. But very cool game. At the end of it, you can look at your stamp collection in your little scrapbook, and it's pretty cool. So that was Stamp Swap. I don't know if anyone else has played this game and what you think about it. But yeah, this is by Paul Solomon. I was mentioning earlier that he now is at Gamehead Games, and he is actively taking pitches. So if you have a game that you think Gamehead Games might like, they just recently got into publishing. Definitely connect with them. Paul is very actively looking for submissions for new game ideas. So, and not just game ideas, like games that have been thoroughly play tested that you are ready to pitch. That was Stamp Swap. Okay, then played Imhotep Duel by one of my favorite designers, Phil Walker Harding. I don't understand how Phil Walker Harding he has published so many games. And if you think about all the games that he's published, think about all the games that haven't been published. Like, he has probably come up with look at this. Look at all, these are just some notable games. Can you imagine? Like, in multiple games coming out every year. It's amazing. Like, how prolific Phil Walker Harding is very, very cool. So this was not the only Phil Walker Harding game I played at Dice Tower. I'll get to the other one later. But this is Imhotep Duel, and I really enjoy Imhotep, the like base game. And I feel like not enough people talk about Imhotep. It is a great great game where you play as Egyptian architects and you are filling up these boats. Similar, it's the same idea here in the dual version, but the base game looks different from this. But same idea, you're filling different boats with resources and then you're sailing those boats across. But the thing is, other people can sail the boat across and they might sail that boat to a different spot than you wanted that boat to go to. It's very interesting. In the dual version, you have this little grid thing, this little grid board in the middle. And again, you are placing, it's a little hard to see in this picture, but there's a little grid there. And you're going to be placing tiles into this grid. And once either row this way or this way has at least 2 tiles, you can then unload that boat. And so maybe someone put one here because they want this one, but you put one here and you unload this one. Now they're going to get that instead of that, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, this is a very clever game, kind of what's the word? Not tactile. There are tactics in this game of trying to outsmart the other player of where you place your pieces. Very cool. Very, very cool. So that was Emotep Duel. And we played Let's Go to Japan. This game I had played a bunch on BGA. This is my first time playing it IRL. And it's a very cute theme. I absolutely adore the theme. The theme is you are planning out your trip to Japan. And so you're planning out, let's even get a good picture of the week. That's it's a language I don't know, but you are planning out your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday itinerary for your trip to Japan. And the main idea is that you're going to be placing 3 cards per day, but it's only the last card that's visible that has a little bonus thing at the bottom. So you're going to be covering up other cards' bonuses. And so it's only the one that is showing at the bottom that you will score at the end of the game. Tactical, thank you. Thank you, Nep. I think zoom in here. Yeah, so you can see at the end of the game, the player will need to have achieved this requirement to get this bonus for all of these here. And the main thing is that, so for this bonus, you need to have these 3 symbols showing on cards before this card happens. So that's kind of like feeds into the theme of like, you only get this bonus if you've done this thing already in the trip. So that's kind of cool. So you just look for those symbols before this card. If you did that, then you get those points. Yeah, so there's a lot more going on in this game. But it is fairly straightforward. Once you understand that main scoring mechanic, that makes a lot of sense for how it plays, and it's very cute and very fun. This is a great one for sure. So that was fun to actually play it in real life and not just on BGA. That was Let's Go to Japan. And yeah, they also on each card they have real things in Japan that you can do. So when you're scoring, they encourage you to say, all right, so on Monday, I'm going to this temple, and then I'm going to eat this, and then I'm going to go shopping, and then on Tuesday, I'm going to do this, 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 and it's really, I love that. That's super cute. Yeah, let's go to Japan. And my money is on, they're going to very soon release, let's go to New York. Let's go to Paris. Let's go to London. You could reskin this to so many different cities, and I really hope they do that because I think it's a very fun system. Okay, here's the other Phil Walker Harding game. Cities. This was also new to me. This was very cool. Another drafting game. But the main thing here is that there are 4 rows of things you can draft, and you have 4 workers. You can only put one of your workers on a space in each row. So you have to be very careful about, okay, I really want that one thing in this row. I'm going to go there knowing you can't get any of the other things of that type in that row. So like, for example, in this row, those are the city tiles to build out your city. In this row, it is like park and water tiles that you're going to add onto your park and water spaces. These are the building tiles or like tokens or whatever that you're going to be placing on your city tiles to build up the buildings. And then this row is interesting. It is these little phone cards down here, and they are, each one of them is a different end game bonus if you meet that condition. So that's a lot. You're going to end the game with, 8 different objectives plus 3 public objectives over here that everyone's racing to do as fast as possible. So these are your personal ones. No one can take these from you. These ones are public, so you're racing to try to do it first to get the most points. And so that's 11 objectives to keep track of, and a lot of them are contradictory. You know, you might take a card that says for every 1 level red building, you'll get points. But then you might have a card that says for every 2 level red. So I guess it's not necessarily contradictory, but like if you get one, you can't get the other. So it is good if you can combo them as much as possible. And I think that's where I did go wrong. My friend Katrina, who ended up winning the game, she ended up like getting duplicates, which really helped a lot to reduce the, mental overload of trying to keep track of all of these objectives. But then also, as a multiplier, you get more points for doing that one thing. So I think I should have probably prioritized going there first. I kind of left that row for last every time. I was like, whatever, I'll just take whatever objective is left at the end. I ended up having like 3 objectives that were essentially dead because I wasn't going for that objective. I was going for the other ones that I had. But that was very, very cool. Another great Phil Walker Harding game. Let me know if you've played any of these and what your thoughts are on all of them. But this was a newish game. Was it 2024? Yeah. 2024. I think this is part of how Phil Walker Harding can come out with so many games. I do think he has co-designers fairly often. It's not too often, but fairly often he'll have co-designers. Like I know he made one with Eric Lang, Steve Finn here. I do think that helps make it possible to come out with a lot more games often. That was cities. Okay. Moving on to a super fun game. Super fun, super silly game. Hot Streak. So look at this, 8.2. That is amazing. Wow. It is already at 108 in the rankings of party games. That is amazing. As someone who is stuck at 374 for my game, and it is a struggle to get beyond that. And this is for my game that won Party Game of the Year. It is tough, let me tell you. Okay, let me just find it here. And it's been out for a few months and it's already almost in the top 100 party games. There's my game. 378. And I don't see it going much higher than that. But yeah, I'm not complaining. This is insane. I'm very, very, very grateful for that. My point is, in just a couple of months, it has skyrocketed to almost in the top 100 party games of all time, which is absolutely amazing. There are some amazing games in the top 100 party games. So anyway, this is called Hot Streak. This is a super silly game, but obviously designed by legit designers, because you can tell the decisions that they made that they know what they're doing. And there are some very clever things that they did in this game. So essentially, it is a mascot. It's a mascot racing game. So you know what, like sports events, they have these silly mascots, and at halftime, they'll race around the field. So you see how there's like these little eyes poking out here because there are people inside these suits racing around. And so you are going to be betting on who you think's going to win, but you're not just betting blindly. Everyone is dealt 3 cards that can affect the game. You know, like you can see like, oh, the hot dog will fall down. The bear will turn around. You can decide which of those 3 cards to play. And then you'll also know which cards will not be added to the deck. So then one player will be turning over cards one at a time and it's be like, oh, the fish moves up too. Oh, the hot dog falls down. the bear turns around, whatever. And so the mascots will be moving up and down and falling into each other, falling down, turning around. It is pure chaos. And then you're hoping that the mascot you bet on wins. And it is so yeah, you do that one time. Then that same deck will be used in the second round. So, similar to like Time's Up, games like that recycle the deck over and over a few times. You have that information now of the types of cards that are in the deck. So that will inform which mascot you might want to pick to bet on in the next round. Again, you are dealt 3 cards and you decide which one to add to the deck. So those types of things that are in this game really take it up a notch, because they could just be a super silly game. You have no agency, no choice, no information. You're just betting on a mascot and see what happens. It could have been that, and that would have been fine. But obviously the team that made this, and they're from a group called CMYK Games, they have come out with other fun games. You can tell that they're gamers making this game. So Quacks. What? Okay, they're just one of the publishing partners for Quacks. That's pretty clever. Monikers is probably one of the big ones. Wavelength, one of the top party games of all time, top 24. Yeah, so I don't know exactly who designed all these games, but they were involved with these. If you go to their website, you can see that this is not their first rodeo, is what I'm saying. It's not their first mascot race. They made some very smart decisions in this game, and it is super fun. It is super silly, but it's just like a great game. So I really did enjoy this one a lot. My friend Katrina, it was her like #1 game of the weekend. And I know a lot of people are really, really enjoying this game. You can tell by its rating on BGG, where people notoriously don't vote party games very highly. It is already 8.2, which is insane for a party game. That's very, very cool. So that's always fun to see a silly but still fun and clever party game do so well. So that was like a highlight of the weekend. Everyone was super into this one, like yelling, like when a mascot would fall down, you'd be like, "Hot dog, get up, get up!" And then if you get like the hot dog moves forward, they just like crawl forward because they're still falling down. It is so silly, but it is super, super fun. I definitely recommend this one for if you have like friends or family that just loves to be silly and have fun. I definitely recommend this one for sure. So far, the games that you've seen, Nep has only played Let's Go to Japan. Yeah, almost all the games I played. Well, no, quite a few of the games I played were new to me. But then I did pick quite a few that I could teach my friend that I already knew how to play. But yeah, that was Hot Streak. Okay, then we played Cascadia. This game I had played quite a few times, and my friend ended up really enjoying this. She ranked this one pretty high as well. So this is a very straightforward game where it has the entwined drafting situation where, let's see if we find a good picture of that. Let's go to images. So basically you're going to be picking 2 things that have been randomly paired together. You're going to be picking an animal token and a habitat tile. See if anyone has set this out like that so you can see what I'm talking about. But I mean, there we go. And you have this cute little cat to look at as well. So you'll see that this one is missing one here, but there's going to be random pairings of things, and designers call this entwined drafting, or different words for it. But basically it just means that you're going to be drafting 2 random things that have been paired together. So you're trying to figure out which is the best pair to draft. You're going to place a habitat tile in your habitat, and then the animal token on any of the habitat tiles in your habitat. You don't have to place it on the one you just placed, like in Carcassonne. You can place it on any of your tiles that are available, but that have that animal icon on them. So you can't just place them anywhere. It does have to match the icon on the habitat tile. But yeah, so it's super simple. You just take a pair and place them. and then a new pair comes out. You can get these things. They were little pine cones in our game. You can earn them by placing animals on certain tiles that have these little, it's a little hard to see, but they have this little symbol on them. And then that will let you break that entwined drafting rule, where it will let you take any animal token and any habitat tile, which can be very clutch in this game at certain times. Yeah, very, very elegantly designed game. This won the Spiel des Jahres, I believe, or at least it was nominated. Oh, there you go. It won Spiel des Jahres. And I know how to say it like that because I got absolutely roasted in the comments on a video last year where I pronounced it Spiel des Jahres, which is like a French pronunciation, I guess. I don't know. So I have been practicing how to say that. Very cool game. At the end of it, you have this beautiful, huge habitat to look back on. And we actually played it with not just these flat tokens. The game that we had upgraded animal meeples. And so there were actual like fish and actual little 3D fox and a moose and a hawk. And that visually was very, very cool at the end of the game. This is a fantastic game. This is one that I would definitely own. But right now, I need to get rid of games, not get more games. But this would be a great one to have in the collection. Hey, YouTube, how you doing over there? Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you've played any of these games or if you've played a cool game just in general. Let me know. Okay, that was Cascadia. Moving on to one of my favorite games that I really should own as well. I love it so much. The very first time I played Century Spice Road was many years ago. I did not quite wrap my head around it. I was still fairly new to playing different styles of games. I found it a bit confusing. But now I absolutely adore this game. So this is the Golem edition to Century Spice Road. The original is, the theme is you're collecting spices and you're like trading them. The theme doesn't really matter in this game. The theme doesn't matter. This is the exact same gameplay as the Spice Road one, but you're building golems, I guess, with stones. It doesn't matter. What matters is the mechanics of this game are so elegant and beautiful, and I love it so much. So essentially, you're going to have 2 rows of cards. In this row, you're going to be drafting cards that you're going to be putting into your deck. In this row, these are the goal cards. You're trying to collect these specific gems or whatever they call them in this version, but these shiny, beautiful things over here. You're trying to collect those specific gems to cash in, to get those cards, to get those points. Whoa, that is way too close. But you can see the points there. So the thing is, so that's all well and good. Very cool game just for that. But one of the coolest things about this game is if you want this card on the far left, you can just take it. It's free. If you want this card over here, you have to place one of these shiny gems on all of these cards leading up to that one. So you have to pay 3 of your gems, any gems that you want, 3 gems, then you can get this card. And those gems will stay on those cards until someone collects them. So say I take this card, I place 3 gems there, I take that card, add it to my deck. These 2 shuffle down, a new card is added. Now my opponent, if they take this free card, they also get a gem. You can actually see there are some gems on this card already. So that will inherently increase the value of cards that are not chosen. So if you're like, I don't know if I want this card, but if it piles up with gems, then you might want to take it. Because one of the other cool things about this game is that you are drafting these cards into your deck, but unlike other deck builders where you have to play all of your cards before you shuffle and reset, you can play any number of your cards and then take a rest action, which puts all of your cards back into your hand. You always have access to all of your cards in your hand. You're not drawing from a deck. You have access to all the cards in your hand. You can play any card that you want, and at any time, you can rest to take those cards back into your hand. So I like that a lot. So you could have a card in your hand that you maybe just never play in the game, and you literally took it just to get the gems that were on it. And that's fine. It just sits in your hand. It doesn't penalize you in any way. It's not really a dead card because you can rest and take your cards back at any time. Yeah, Sweet Craft Century Spice Road, so good. And this game is Century Spice Road. It's just with these really beautiful, colorful gems and just different artwork with these golem things. But yeah, one of the other main things is that you do have a capacity for how many gems you can have at a time. You can only have 10 at a time. And so what do these cards do? So you can see in the top left corner, you can basically trade gems into other gems. I'm going to zoom in again. Buckle up. It's going to get real close. Okay. So you can see here that in this card, you can trade in 3 green gems and upgrade them to 3 blue. Can I scroll? Here we go. This one, 2 blue to get 1 pink, 1 green, 2 yellow. And you can see over here, you can see the order of value. So yellows are the lowest value, then green, then blue, then pink. So yeah, these cards, you're basically building an engine of trading and upgrading cards from this to that, or that to those, or that to those. And some of them just give you stuff. Oh, they don't have an example here, but some of them just if you play it, you just get 2 blue or whatever. Yeah, it's a very simple, straightforward game, but it is so good. I absolutely adore this game. Yeah. I think I should own this one too. And this was the first game that we played of the convention. And I was proud of myself for picking this one for my friend because I think she might look back on this game and be like, that was my gateway game into being obsessed with board games. Potentially. Okay, that was Century Golem Edition. Moving on to Harmonies. This game I had also played many, many times on BGA. This is my first time playing a physical copy of it. And so this is basically an abstract game. They do have an animal theme on top of it, but it's not. It's somewhat helpful, I guess. The blue tokens are supposed to be water, like a river. The mountains, kind of like a mountain range, so they only score if they're next to another mountain. The trees, it matters how tall they are for points. And then there's randomly buildings in here, but I guess it's kind of like, shacks or farmhouses, stuff like that. But this is essentially a pattern making game where you're going to be drafting different cards. And if you're able to make those patterns in your little area, you can get those points. And you will also be drafting tokens. And the thing similar to, well, not like kind of similar to Azul, but you're taking all of them. You're not just taking one type. So like you wouldn't just be taking the brown ones here. You take 2 brown and 1 yellow. You have to take all of them and you have to place all of them. So you're trying to be very efficient about having a variety of pattern goals so that if you are stuck taking, you really want 2 of these, but you don't want the other one, you want to try to get a variety of pattern goals. So every time you place tokens, they are going towards a pattern. But there are also points you get just from different placement rules for the different terrain types. So even if it doesn't contribute to a pattern goal, you can still get points if you adhere to certain rules. Like, for example, this building here. Buildings in general, regardless if you have a card for this or not, just buildings in general, you'll get 5 points per building if it is next to 3 different types of tokens. So you see this one and this one won't get you any points. This one will because it's next to blue, green, and yellow. So those are just things you have to remember. So this game took me quite a few plays to wrap my head around and to get familiar with and to really enjoy because it's a lot of rules and placement rules to remember because you have all those placement rules and then you also have up to 4 different patterns that you're trying to complete and then also thinking ahead to what your next pattern goal might be that you might take once you've completed one of those. Very cool game. It took me a few plays to get into, but I really like this one. And I don't normally like purely abstract games in general, but the more I played this game, the more I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah. And in real life with the physical copy, these tokens are so chunky. They're probably like a third of an inch high. Like they are so chunky. I love it. So that was cool to play that in person. And the version that I played had a plastic overlay that went over the player mat so that these tokens don't shift around. You can see this is just the plain mat. And if you bump the table, you happen to accidentally move things around, these could shift pretty easily, which could be really annoying. So that overlay really, really helped. It kept things in place, which was really nice. And another one you played, Net, for sure. Yeah, we just finished up a tournament, actually. Me and my members, we have tournaments where we play different games. And we just finished a Harmonies tournament. And I came in second place. I thought I knew I had a chance of winning because I've played this game so much recently. But we have a member, Dan, who wins everything. And so he won. But I was only 10 points behind Dan, so I will take that as a victory. But yeah, so Nep played this one, was part of that tournament. And so now, because Dan won, he gets to choose the next game. So he's currently trying to decide what game to play next for our next tournament. So if you have any suggestions for games that you think play well for a BGA tournament, so not a ton of back and forth, not a ton of turns, not a ton of things that need to be confirmed by each player. Like Earth, I think that one took way too long because during another player's turn, you also need to confirm if you're going to do something, and it just takes forever. So yeah, we're trying to figure out what game to do next. Well, Dan's trying to help him give suggestions for what to do next. I do think White Castle plays well because there's only 9 turns each player, and then there are some things you need to confirm between the rounds. But we did just do a White Castle tournament not too long ago, so we might not do that one again. Hey, Table Talk, how you doing? You only played Jumbo Harmonies, so sliding wasn't a problem. Aha. What does that little crown and a number 1 next to your name mean? That's cool. I don't even know what that means. Flip 7, Captain Flip, and Castle Combo are all quick. Okay, yeah, that might be fun to do some slightly lighter ones. I haven't played Captain Flip or Castle Combo, but I have watched videos of how to play Captain Flip, but I don't know anything about Castle Combo. But those are good suggestions. Thank you. Alrighty, so that was Harmonies. Alright, then I played, for the first time, Flamecraft. One of the most beautiful games I've seen. I absolutely love the art style. This is by the art is by Sandra Tang, who also is doing the recently announced Tea Witches. Has very similar look to it. Coming out by the Op. Also designed by Manny Vega, I believe, who did Flamecraft. Hello, where's Tea Witches? Does the not count as Tea? Okay, Tea Witches. Yeah, so this one is just coming out. It hasn't been released yet. Also by Manny. So that's very cool. The same designer artist combo as Flamecraft. This is Tea Witches. This one looks really cool. You're building up your little stall to sell tea to witches. Very cute. But Flamecraft, also very cute theme. You are living in this very cute town where dragons hang out, and they help at the different shops in this town by using their fire to craft different things, which I absolutely love that concept. I'm trying to find a good picture of the setup. Let's do components. That's interesting. They don't have a setup option, but that's not a great picture of it. I want this map rolled out. Sorry, we need to find a good picture so you can see. Let's try play. Okay. Let's try game. This one might do. Okay. So this is the town that you're in. And then these are all the different shops. And then the dragons help at these shops. So like they can help, grill meat with their fire, or they can help with like a creme brulee, with, firing the top of the creme brulee. Things, super cute things like that. And so these different shops are coming out in the town, and then you can go to the different shops and you're going to be placing little dragon cards on the shops and then firing up the dragon, and then that dragon will give you stuff. And then there's these different objectives you're trying to achieve in the middle of the player mat. And so you want to get different resources to claim those. And so everyone's racing to claim those. And you're going around this little tracker here with your points. Very, very cute game with a lot of fun gameplay going on. There's a lot of abundance in this game. You're going to have a lot of resources to work with. So you can do a lot of cool stuff. Not a ton of competing because a bunch of shops come out, and so you can kind of go wherever you want. And you can always go wherever you want. Just if you go somewhere where there is another dragon, then you just have to give that player a resource. And so it's a very friendly, I would say cozy game, just because of the abundance, and there's not a ton of, direct competition with each other. Really, really, really enjoyed this one for sure. Categories are newer and not every photo is categorized. Yeah, it seems like that, because if they have literally no images associated with the game, that's pretty weird. But not all of them are categorized. That makes sense. But yeah, this was Flamecraft. I have been wanting to play this game forever, and so I was very excited to play this. My friend Amanda taught it, and so that was really great. And yeah, so that was one of the highlights of the weekend for me. Okay, then the last game I played was my game of the convention. It was my favorite game that I played. It's called Pergola. It's a very new game, 2025. And it is absolutely beautiful. I love the theme. I love the cute little touches that they've done to make this game. Just look at this. Okay, so in this game, you are a gardener and you are building up your garden in your yard. Each person's player mat looks different. This is someone's backyard. And just look at the production of this game. Like, they have these little, let me zoom into this. They have these little like pot plant holder things where you put your little shovels. It is completely unnecessary, but it is just so cute and I love it so much. I mean, it does tell you how many turns you have left in the game, and it is a cool spot to put your shovels. I'll explain how the shovels work in a second, but you could just put the shovels in a pile to the side. No, they went the extra mile to have these little potter holder things to put your shovels in, and I absolutely am obsessed with those touches. Just look how beautiful everything is in this game. So it also has the entwined drafting. Let's zoom over here. So you're going to be drafting a shovel that it corresponds with an action. So if you want these resources, just know that you'll be doing that action. If you want these resources, you get that action, and so on. And if another player takes this shovel, does that action, these actually shift over and a new shovel comes out here. So unlike Cascadia, where the pairings are locked, in this game, they're always moving around, which I went back and forth of whether I liked that or not. I don't know if I love it, just because you can't really plan ahead for your turn. But my friend Katrina, she made the point of like, well, that kind of adds to the relaxed atmosphere of the game where you just chill when it's not your turn, and then when it is your turn, you just decide what you're going to do. So I can see that. But for me, I don't know. I kind of like being able to plan ahead a little bit. So I'm not a huge fan of these changing I wouldn't, if someone takes a shovel, I think that shovel should just be replaced and it shouldn't be shuffled down. But besides that very, very small nitpick, I absolutely, absolutely enjoyed this game. So you're basically going to be drafting resources and taking actions. So there are all different ways that your things in your garden can score. So you'll see these ladybugs here. You want to get the ladybugs in a row so you can build out these pink flowers and try and get the ladybugs in a row. These ones, you're trying to get the butterflies as high as possible. This is not a great picture because this person obviously is just laying it out in a way that looks cute and that doesn't actually follow the game's rules, but that's all right. So the butterflies, you're trying to get them as high as possible. These different colored flowers, you're trying to get as many different sets as possible. So this set of 3 would get you like 9 points, I think. And then just 2 would be 6 and 1 would be 3, something like that. These ones, you're trying to get pairs, and then you can place a dragonfly in it for 1 guaranteed point, or you can put a lavender token there, but it's only worth points if you're able to get 3 bees on it. So it could be a bit of a risk if you decide you want to take that. There is a little rock over here, and water droplets slide down it, and I love it so much. So you start with 2 water droplets at the top, and then if you take the water action here, you move a water token down 1 level, and you can decide you want to go this way, you want to go this way, you want to go this way, and then whatever icon you're next to, you get that thing. So also some abundance in this game adds to the cozy feel of it. And then you're sliding down this little waterfall till you get to the bottom. If you make it to the bottom, you'll get some end game points down here. You can choose which of these 3 you want to take. Over here on the left, this is the actual pergola, I believe. The name of the game. And so the pergola is not actually like the central thing like the whole garden is. But this part, you place these hanging vine things, and for each pair of blue and pink, you get points. And then if you're able to put bees on them, oh yeah, actually I think the pairs only count if you get, oh no, wait. Just the pairs will give you points. If you're able to fill the bees, then that also gives you points. And then if you're able to get a certain number of bees, you can then unlock additional end game points down here. So they all act in different ways. You also have these lanterns here, which are really cool. They give you extra bonus actions and bonus resources. Yeah, and then there's butterflies or dragonflies just flying up here, and they will give you points at the end as well. So I absolutely love how at the end of this game, you can look at the beautiful garden that you built up throughout the game, and you can see what you've made, and it's just so pretty. And it's so pretty, but like there's actual very interesting and fun gameplay as well. So the immersion, the intersection of the two, the integration of the theme and the mechanics is so well done here. The theme feeds into the mechanics feed into the theme, which is absolutely what I love in a board game. And of course, there are people who would just throw these pieces in this area and they don't care how it looks. You don't have to hang these things like this. But there are people like me and the people that are at my table playing this that got so much joy from placing these tokens like this to make it look beautiful. And I absolutely love that. That is like the feeling I'm going for my game Book Nook. And I absolutely love that about this game. It's like not necessary to do that, but when you do it, it brings you so much joy. So yeah, this was a big, big hit for me. I absolutely loved this one. Hey, Actor, how you doing? Nice to see you. Okay, Actor is saying that Century is proof of the importance of theme. Century is great, like Century Spice Road, but the Gollum edition is even better. Yeah, I did like the Gollum edition better, but I don't know if that's necessarily because I had played more games between those two plays, and so I just got it quicker, and so I enjoyed it more. It's essentially the same game. I don't really know how much the Gollum theme really comes through. The chunky gems are beautiful. I absolutely love them. I don't really look at the art, but I guess there's golems on the art. And then, but in Century Spice Road, they're just little cubes, so it's not as exciting. So I would almost say that like the components of the Gollum edition make it just more fun and visually interesting than just cubes. But yeah. Yeah, it's much prettier, for sure. Yeah, Nep. Yeah. No worries, actor. Cool. So those were all of the games I played at Dice Tower East. Had a very, very fun time. It was very cool. If you like conventions, where the main focus is playing games, I highly recommend that one. It is freezing inside the convention hall. I'll just reiterate that. I think you should be prepared for how cold it is in the gaming halls. So for that, I would just caution you. Hopefully they regulate that a bit next year. I know that other people are talking about that on their Facebook page and whatnot. I think they're aware of it. Maybe they're not allowed to change it. Like, I don't know. But besides that, really, really enjoyed it. Very well organized convention. They also had hot games and like demo area. So it was just tables set up with very popular games. So people could just sit down. The game is already set up, play it, and then just leave it on the table for the next group to play. That was very cool. There didn't seem to be, like, I know there were volunteers around. I didn't see a ton of them to teach the games. So if you have someone in your group who knows how to teach the game, that's probably ideal. But then they did have demo areas that had like the publisher or the designer there to explain the game. And then they did have some booths, not a ton, probably 16 or so, I would say. And a lot of space to move around, which was really nice. Unfortunately, the exhibit hall closed at 2 p.m. on the Saturday, which was bizarre. I guess another group was coming in to use the space on the Sunday, and so they had to break everything down by 2 p.m. Or they had to start breaking down at 2 p.m. on the Saturday. So that was unfortunate. I'm sure a lot of people that went to the convention on Saturday, they probably missed out on stuff because they didn't realize that it closed at 2 o'clock on the Saturday. But yeah, I think that was just a scheduling issue. So hopefully that doesn't happen next year. But yeah, I got to see my friend Kristen there, who was demoing a game that she got picked up by a publisher there. And so she was demoing that there, played that game. It was very fun. I almost bought White Castle. And then I remembered I was doing a carry-on and had absolutely no space to buy White Castle. And also, as I've mentioned many times, I need to get rid of some games before I add any more. But I think I do want to own White Castle. I love it so much. Okay, so that was Dice Tower East. What other things did I say I would be talking about on this stream? 8,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. I got 8,000 subscribers is insane. So thank you so much to each and every one of you who have subscribed to my channel on YouTube. I'm very, very, very grateful. So thank you for that. And one person at Dice Tower came up to me and said, thanks for your YouTube channel and thanks for all that you do. And I enjoy your videos and all that. And that was just so nice to hear. It's just very, very nice to hear that from people, because sometimes it feels like you're just speaking into the void. So that was very, very cool. But I appreciate every single one of you who has subscribed to my channel. So thank you very, very, very much. That's a huge, huge milestone, and I appreciate you. Yeah, actor mentioned that someone stole the game Deep Regrets from the game library at Dice Tower. I did see that on Facebook. That's really unfortunate. So someone checked it back in. It was logged as checked back in. But then I guess when they were unloading the library, I'm not sure, they saw it wasn't there. So hopefully they figure out what happened. Maybe it was just misplaced. I'm not sure. It is pretty funny that it was the game called Deep Regrets that that was unfortunately taken. Hopefully they do feel regret and they return it, because that's not cool. Thanks, Nep. I appreciate you. Yeah, Table Talk, Kristen Mott. Oh, she has a tiny game with Envyborn. Cool. I haven't heard of that one. Let's see if the one that I played is up. It's called Drakelings. Let's see if it is up on BGG. Let's take a look together. This is a super cute game, also about dragons. And it is a very accessible, fun game where you have a grid of cards. Let's see if they have. Oh, shoot. Okay, so this is the only picture they have. But you have a grid of cards, and then you're going to be moving pieces along the like Y and X axes. You can move one time, and then you take whatever card is at the intersection of those two tokens. And you are trying to match dragon cards with dragon trainer cards. And if you do match up their symbols, you then get stuff. And you're trying to get different stuff to achieve objectives, be the first to achieve an objective, and you get that card, and a new objective comes out. And then it's first to a certain number of points, I think. But it was very, very cute. And one of the most amazing parts of this game is that you can buy it in a 3D printed dragon egg. It is a luminescent dragon egg, meaning depending on the angle that you look at it, and as you move around, it kind of shimmers and changes colors. And it's in the shape of a dragon egg, and you open it up and the game is inside. And I absolutely am obsessed. You can also get it just, as a regular box if you would prefer. As soon as this game, you can pre-order now. But if I do buy it, I would personally buy the dragon egg because I absolutely love it. So yeah, that is Drakelings. It's Kristen Mott and Adrian Adamescu. She also did Insectium. Yeah, and Prowl, that's the one that Table Talk is talking about. Yeah, she's got a bunch of cool stuff coming out soon. You can follow her on Instagram, Kristen Mott. Yeah, so that was very fun. I got to, Insectarium. She showed this one to me. I saw this at PAX Unplugged, and then she actually had it at Dice Tower, so I got to see it there too. But you're basically like pinning these different bugs onto a board, and it's very, very cool. She's got a lot of cool stuff coming out very soon, so very, very exciting to see like all of the cool stuff that she's got cooking. So Kristen Mott, check her out. So yeah, I got to demo that, but then I played Stamp, Swap, and Flamecraft with Kristen and Cities. So I'm really glad we got to play a game as well. Dragon Keepers. No, I have not. Dragon Keepers. 2023. Michael Menzel, and also is the artist. That's cool. Legends of Andor. No, I don't know that one. Cool. Dragon Keepers. So what is this about? You compete against each other as magicians. 2 stacks of cards from the magic book, which indicates which and how many dragons can be herded. With each card taken, this information changes, but luckily you can cast spells and return your cards to the magic book to change it in your favor and score. But which of your dragons can you spare to cast spells? Also, you're deciding which cards you're going to use to cast spells and which you're going to use to return to the magic book. Okay, cool. I have not heard about this, so this looks very, very fun. Anything with dragons, apparently, I'm into. I wanted to play Worm Spam at Dice Tower, but it was always out. Cool. Oh, nice. Actor has a dice set that came in a dragon egg. I love that. So when you roll, do you shake them in the egg and then tip them out? Yeah, Camilla was there. I did see her walk by. I tried to be cool and normal and not fangirl at all. Cool. All right, so oh yeah, also at Dice Tower, I did watch one like show. It was Z Garcia and I can't remember the other two, Mike and Julie Ahern, I believe, and she's like a designer and publisher. So I didn't know she was connected with Dice Tower. But they had this really fun show where it was Andrew Bosley, who did the art for Everdell and a bunch of other stuff. And it was a fun sort of show where it was basically like Pictionary. And so he was drawing different things, but had different restrictions like, oh, you can only draw with your eyes closed, or draw with your non-dominant hand, or draw while standing on one foot, whatever. It was super fun. Yeah, that was a very fun show. And I did plan on going to the Saturday night like live Dice Tower show with the whole like Dice Tower crew, but just ended up wanting to play more games, and so did not make it to that. But yeah, I saw Tom Vassell walking around. And yeah, that was just fun just to see them like having fun and walking around and playing games. Okay, so I wanted to mention those things. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, mobile game update. Yes. Okay, so as I've mentioned before, I am currently working on a mobile game, and so I have board games published with publishers. I mainly pitch to publishers. They then deal with the manufacturing and shipping distribution of the game. I then get royalties from those games if I'm able to recoup the advance. But speaking of which, quick little aside here. Sorry. That just reminded me. I got a royalty report from a publisher recently. And just a reminder to designers who get royalty reports, make sure you review them closely because they took money off for my advance, but my advance has been recouped for a long time. And so I had to ask them about that, and they were like, oh yeah, whoops, sorry about that. We'll fix that next quarter. So if I hadn't reviewed that, I would have been out. I would have just lost that money. So yeah, I know that the Tabletop Game Designers Association, they're working on trying to get royalty reports standardized as far as what information is included in reports, because I don't get a ton of information about who the games have been sold to. I just get units, like this number of units, but I don't really get who they were sold to. And I would like that information. But then also just being more clear about how these calculations are made. Yeah. So read your royalty reports very closely. Anyway, so I primarily pitch to publishers, and because of things like that and other things, I've always been interested in self-publishing. But I've never been interested in self-publishing my own physical product because I don't want to be on the hook for a physical thing that then has to be shipped over to different places and random tariffs put on them, or I got the weight wrong and so now it actually will cost 2 times more than I planned for and now I have to pay for that out of pocket, or there's some issue with the print run. Maybe there's like a bunch of typos or some things didn't print right, whatever. There are so many possible things that could go wrong with physical products that I still don't really think I'll do that, but I'm exploring possibly self-publishing a physical product through print-on-demand services like the Game Crafter. I'm not looking at that right now, but that's something I'm thinking about. But right now, I'm planning on self-publishing a mobile game that I'm hoping will be released in the next week and a half, maybe, hopefully, if things work out. So I have partnered up with a game developer. So she's doing the coding, I'm doing the design of the game, as well as the marketing, playtesting, project management, all that stuff. And we have been working on this game for over a year now. It started just as a paper prototype, and I was like, okay, I think this works. I brought it into Tabletopia. I made a digital prototype. Very crude, but you could get the idea. And I was like, okay, I think there's something here. So it was only then that I had my game development partner actually make a quick prototype of it, because I didn't want to waste her time if I saw it didn't work from my paper prototypes. And so it will be coming out very soon. And primarily it will be coming out very soon because we were having a major issue, and I've mentioned this on stream before. We were having a major issue with Gmail sign-in on mobile. It wasn't working. So basically we have our build on itch.io, and then I embedded it into my website. And if you play the game on my website, you couldn't sign in through Gmail. It just wasn't refreshing. And so that was a major issue because most people who play these types of games want to play on their phone, play on mobile, and they want to be able to sign in so that their progress can be saved. And so this has been a major stumbling block. If we couldn't get this figured out, we would have had to make a major pivot. Either just think of it, something else, we would have had to rethink a bunch of things, because one of the main things we have is we have a leaderboard. And so you can see your score adding up on the leaderboard. And if you can't sign in on mobile, you can't see your score being added up. So you might just not play it. And I found I wasn't playing it when I was away. I only had my phone. I didn't have my laptop. And I wasn't playing it because I didn't want to play it if my score wasn't going to be added up on the leaderboard. All of this is to say, this week, my game development partner, she figured out the Gmail login issue. Now, when you click to sign in and then it says you're logged in, it refreshes and then you are logged in. And I'm so happy and so excited that she figured that out. And so now that we're past that, we can actually really move forward with our release plan, which is going to be pushed back just a little bit, but hopefully in the next week and a half or so, we're going to actually release the game. Because right now it's just on a test page that playtesters are playing. So yeah, that was a huge, huge win this week that I'm so very grateful for and excited about, and just proud of my game development partner for figuring that out and pushing through. She tried so many different things the past couple months. So I'll talk more about how she solved that when I do a video about this whole process. But yeah, that was very, very, very exciting. Yeah, Sweetcroft, fulfillment for physical games also makes my brain hurt. And I'm very, very hesitant to take that leap. It's not only is it a lot of work, it's just a lot of risk. And if I were to do it, I would partner with e-fulfillment service, who I've mentioned in some of my videos, to deal with storing the games, shipping the games, dealing with returns, dealing with the customer service. I have no interest in dealing with that. Zero interest in dealing with that. Oh, that's cool, actor. You worked on some mobile games. Made music for them. That's cool. Oh, hello. Thank you so much, Board Game Bard. Hello. Hi. Thank you so much. So yeah. Sorry. When I have existential crises, which is, this is existential dread. When I have existential crises about why am I still trying to make board games? It doesn't happen that often, but sometimes it does. I'll think, what else could I maybe do in my life? And I think maybe I could make music for video games. And I soon give up on that because that would be a lot to learn. But I think it would be really fun. And some of the music in video games is so cool. Like, I will actually straight up just listen to the Stardew Valley soundtrack in my life because it is just so good. And it's just insane that Concerned Ape, who developed and designed Stardew Valley, also made all the music. That is just wild to me. That's a lot. But sometimes I think like, oh, maybe I could. I've like written a few songs many years ago to play on the guitar. Yeah. I think that'd be very cool. Realistically, I don't see that ever happening. But yes, very cool that you did that. Very, very cool. I don't know if you've heard of Blackthorn Productions, but they are a very cool YouTube channel. They are video game designers and developers in their own right, but they also run these video game design development competitions, and it's actually what kind of inspired me to do the mystery box competition, because, well, a little bit. The way that they do it is that they have different video game developers come up with video games based on a different prompt, usually some sort of theme. So it's a game jam. And then each developer will come up with a game based on that theme. Then they present them to the Blackthorn developers and other judges. And then they decide which ones move through to the next round until someone eventually wins. And in one of those competitions, sometimes they have different developers make one game, but without communicating with each other, which I think is a fun idea. So one person will start the game, the next person will add sound, the next person will add music. And there was one person who added music, and it was just, the music that he made was so beautiful and so cool, and it just gave so much life to this game. That was just amazing. So sometimes I need to just appreciate someone else's skill and talent without also thinking I should do that too. It's very cool what he did, and then it could just end there. But sometimes I'm just like, I want to do that too. Yeah, Neb saying, you mean you don't want a garage full of product that you're solely responsible for selling? That is my actual nightmare. I don't have a garage, so that helps. I don't have much space, so that definitely helps. But yeah, the idea of just boxes of my games just sitting there and trying to push them, trying to sell them, I'm just like, not for me, no thank you. Toby Fox with Undertale is also absurd with how good the music was. Toby Fox with Undertale? Is Undertale the name of the game and Toby Fox the musician? Board Game Bar is asking, what kind of board games are you designing right now? Right now, I am primarily designing quite a few party games because I don't know if you are aware of this. Stonemaier Games, who published Wingspan, Wormspan, and now Vantage, Viticulture, Scythe, a bunch of games. They are looking for a party/light game, and I have been slightly obsessed with trying to come up with something for this. They said that they are only going to publish one game alone. It needs to be on the level of Just One, So Clover, the best party games ever invented. No pressure. And so since February, I have been racking my brain trying to come up with party games to submit for this. I have submitted 3. All 3 have been rejected. None of them have made it past the gatekeeper. So Stonemaier is Alan Stone and Jamie Stegmaier. And Alan Stone, apparently his job is to vet the games that come through. And so none of my games have made it past Alan Stone. But it's been an interesting design challenge. I'm stoked actually with the games that I've come up with, and I will be pitching the best of them to other publishers. So, it might just be not a good fit for Stonemaier. They haven't given a ton of specific direction of what they're looking for. So I have submitted 3, and I think I just need to be done with it. I thought of another idea, which I'm actually stoked on. And I was like, okay, I can submit this one to them, but I think I just need to accept it's not going to happen for me. And that's okay. I really need them to just announce that they have found something because it's stressing me out. There's no deadline. They just say as soon as we find the best party game ever made, we will close submissions. I think I just need to personally close submissions to that. But this is all to say that I have come up with 4 or 5 party games in the last few months that I'm actually pretty stoked on. This new idea, I have not play tested yet, so who knows. But this new idea I'm actually really stoked on. So, and a recent one too. So, yeah, I've been thinking up a lot of party games. I have a strategy game I would really, really love to start working on, but it's going to be a big project. I have been thinking about it so much, and it's basically like designed all in my head. And we all know how that's gonna work out once I actually play test the physical game. It'll all fall apart. Right now, it's a perfect game in my head. So I'm very excited to actually start working on that, but I am not starting working on it until I wrap up a few other projects because it is going to take a lot of my time. But it is a strategy game based on a very cool theme. I would like. There's no point in really talking about it because I'm going to be very vague because I don't want to say too much about it because I'm so stoked about all the things I've thought about it, and I just want to keep it under wraps basically. So I'm excited about that once I actually start working on it. Another idea I've had that I really want to start working on, but it's working on up here, is an advent calendar book. I got an advent calendar escape room book, not just an advent calendar book. An escape room advent calendar book, which basically means you have 24 puzzles leading up to Christmas. I bought one of these books last Christmas, and actually I bought one for my best friend. She bought one for me, and I did it with my family, and it was just so absurdly difficult that I was just like, I'm going to make my own for next year. And I know I need to do that soon if I actually want it to get done before Christmas. And this would be something that I would put up on Game Crafter that people could buy. I need to get going on that very soon if I want that to actually happen this year. If not, it'll be next year. But I think that project, along with the mobile game, I'm not designing it anymore. It is basically done. It's just the UI right now. And then the release is going to take up a lot of time. And then all of these party games that I've been thinking of. Those are the main projects. I do have a strategy game based on reading books that is with a publisher right now who says they might be interested. I'm waiting to hear back from them. If it's a no from them, then I might go back to that game and just play it again and just see what I can smooth out, what I can make better, what I can improve. I might even send it to someone else to get their opinion on it. It is done. It might just be a situation of trying to find the right publisher. So I'm not really designing that one right now either. So yeah, in a very roundabout, long-winded way, that's what I'm working on right now. What are you working on right now? Yeah, Table Talk. It is, yeah. I think what Stonemeier's looking for, it needs to fit the vibe of Stonemaier. And I don't really know how that looks. I thought one that I sent to them fit their vibe because it was a bit more going on than your standard very simple party game. So I was actually surprised that one got a no. That one, they took a few days to send me a no. So I was like, ooh, maybe they're thinking about it. Maybe it's a maybe. And no, it was a no. Yeah, so it will be interesting once they finally do announce the game that they found, if they find one, to see what would fit within their catalog to kind of make sense. Board Game Bar, do you have a YouTube channel? Actors saying they may have watched a YouTube video with the Board Game Bard. Just going through the chat that I missed when I was yippity yapping. Okay, Undertale is the name of the game. Toby Fox made the game. Gotcha. Cool. Nice, Actor. They've only rejected one of your 2 submissions so far. Best of luck with the other one. Fingers crossed for you. I do know of at least one person who has made it past Alan Stone. So it is possible. Oh, nice. Board Game Bard ordered Vantage this week. Yeah, so Stonemaier had a big release this week for their game called Vantage. I talked about that last week. We looked at it, and it's just, there's so many cards in this game. It's insane the amount of content in that game. I can't even imagine trying to design something with that much content, where it's like, if you land at this location, that's one of like 8,000 locations, you have these certain actions, and all those types of actions are unique to each card. If you do one of those things, you go to this paragraph in this one of 6 books, and you read the specific paragraph, and then you do this thing. Like, oh my goodness, I don't have the capacity to design a game with that many paths that you have to keep track of and organized. But it looks very, very cool. I've watched some playthroughs of it. It looks very interesting. The idea is that you all crash land on this planet, but you're separated from each other, and so only you can see what you're looking at, and other players, so you don't know exactly where other players are. They can describe where they are, but you can't see what they see, and which is a really interesting idea. And then you can basically explore wherever you want to, depending on where you crash landed. So very cool game that has like a sort of an open world video game kind of feel to it. So that's cool that you ordered that this week. I know that was a big announcement. Did you get all the bells and whistles, all the metal coins, all the upgrades? Yeah, Actor, fingers crossed for you. That is very, very cool. Relish this moment before you potentially get the rejection email. But hopefully it's not. Yeah, Actor, maybe. Yeah, they don't give you any feedback. And they say that in their rejection email. They say, we don't give feedback as to why we said no. It's just a no. But best of luck to you. Oh, no. Actor came up with an amazing game this week. Unfortunately, it turns out just to be Dixit. That's everyone watching, I'm sure, can relate to that. That actually happened at Dice Tower. A couple months ago, when I was flying back from Vietnam, I had an idea for a board game about loading a plane, about seating people in a plane efficiently. And I mocked up like a print and play of it. I messed around with it. It didn't really work as well as I thought it would in my head, as usual. But then at Dice Tower, I looked over and I see a game that someone's playing, that friends of friends were playing. And it was a game about loading a plane. It was called Overbooked. Let me see this. I was like, oh, it came out in 2018. Amazing. It's not even a new game. Let's see here. Overbooked. Pack your plane with passengers. Who cares if we throw out the least lucrative ones? That's funny. Oh, Daryl Chow. Oh, no. Sorry. I'm mixing him up with someone else. But I've heard of him. That's cool. You have to satisfy each passenger's different needs to score prestige for your airline. Book too few passengers, you may not be able to fill your flight. Book too many. Oh, okay. So it's more about booking rather than seating, possibly. In a turn, you pick a passenger card with the orientation, quantity, and type of passenger depicted on the card. You then seat the passengers on the plane according to the passenger card. When any type of passenger runs out, the end game is triggered. Okay, so yeah, it is. That would play differently than the game I had in my head, but like visually, it's very similar. When I saw that, I was like, oh, cool. But yeah, I'm sorry that the game that you thought of is just Dixit. I know. I'll think of that sometimes. I'm like, oh, but what if not everyone has to guess it, just a few? It's like, that's just Dixit. And then I just tell myself, I need to come up with something brand new that's just as cool as the Dixit mechanic. I have not played Ex Libris. A game about collecting books. I have watched videos about it because, I have been designing a game about buying books and putting them on your shelf. You can either take books out from the library, which they then go back. You can also buy books and then they go on your shelf. I was looking into all the other games about books, and so I've just watched videos about Ex Libris. I haven't actually played it myself, but that'd be fun to play one day. But yeah, it looks very, very cool for sure. I'm not really sure how a party game can have a Stonemaier vibe either. I'm very curious to see once they finally announce the game. I'm very curious to see what they were looking for. For my book reading game, have I thought about pitching it to a book publisher? Make it about their books, encourage reading. Yeah, that's a cool idea for sure. Yeah, in all fairness, I've only pitched it to 3 publishers. It's a very small sample size. There are many other publishers I could pitch it to. A book publisher, I'm not quite sure they would be down for it just because it is a medium weight game. Like, it's probably much more complicated than, like, if you're trying to target book readers and not necessarily board gamers, I think this might be slightly too complicated. But that is a cool idea. That is a very cool idea. I think maybe I exhaust the publishers that I want to pitch it to, then I could maybe consider pitching it to a book publisher. Maybe Barnes & Noble will get into the board game publishing game. That could be cool. But yeah, that is something to consider. I do right now. So yeah, speaking of this, I got one of my prototypes returned to me from a publisher that said no. They did say, we liked these things, but because of these fairly small, in my opinion, things that could be figured out through development, but that's all right. They decided to say no, but they're like, there are some other publishers we would like to show this to. So it's like, if you get a rejection from a publisher and it's just straight up no, then you might want to reconsider if the game is ready to continue pitching. But if your rejection comes with, this just isn't quite right for us, but maybe check out this publisher, then you know that your game is, you're still on the right path and your game is still probably ready, is still pitchable. And so I got that prototype back from that publisher. And so now it is just with one publisher. Another publisher, I only played the digital version of the game. They didn't have the physical game. And they, unfortunately, only had time to play like a couple turns of it. So they didn't get to see the full arc of the game. The game does take at least an hour or more to play. And unfortunately, that was a no. So now it's with the third publisher. They have a physical prototype. They've had it for a few months. And last time I followed up with them, they said that their internal playtesting team or whatever enjoyed it. And so they're just dealing with the tariff situation right now before they sign anything for like 2027. Their 2026 is figured out. They're looking for 2027. So hopefully that's just a yes and I can be done with that game. That's my goal. I would love to be, I personally am very happy with where it is. I think it's done. I would love to sign it with this one publisher who I've been wanting to work with for a long time. I would be so stoked if this works out. I really, really, really hope it does. If not, I'll just start sending it out to other publishers. And I think it's just a matter of finding the right fit. Because Ryan, like one of my members, Ryan, he said he pitched one of his games to 19 publishers, which is amazing. 19 publishers. And he found a very good fit with a publisher, and now it's going to be coming out in a couple years or whatever. And I'm so, so happy for him, and also just amazed that someone could put in like that much work to find the right fit with a publisher. And so I need to remind myself I've only pitched it to 3 publishers. So I'm going to wait to see. I think I'll wait a little bit longer. If I don't hear back from that one publisher, I think I will just start sending it out to others, because I am not locked in. I haven't signed an option agreement with them to keep it exclusively with them till they make their decision. I am allowed and have the right to continue to pitch it to other publishers. Anyway, I don't even know what question I was answering about that. Yeah. Oh, nice. Nep also bought Vantage tonight. Yeah, it looks very, very cool. And I love how you can play it very easily solo or with a group. And the art looks absolutely amazing. 3 artists made, 8,000 different location images? Like, very cool. Yeah, is Ex Libris on BGA? Let's see. Yeah, I think it's more about cataloging your book collection, if I remember correctly. Ex Libris. No. Let's look it up on BGG. Yeah, so this is Ex Libris. Alphabetize your magical library. Yeah, that's cool. While leveraging shifting location power-ups. Yeah, and it's all card-based. Oh, okay. That's as close as we can get. So you can see, yeah, A, B. It's a little hard to see, but alphabetical order. I bet that'd be so satisfying at the end of the game to have all your books in alphabetical order. Yeah, so you're like building out the shelf with the cards. That's really cool. Rather than having a player mat with the shelves on them. I like that. Yeah, I should, I'll definitely keep my eye out for this to play it. Cool. Oh, hey, Morgan. Ex Libris has good flavor rating. Let's see if we can see some of that. Here. Like on the location cards. Oh, I can't read that. I'll just, oh, there we go. Can we read this? No. I'll just take your word for it. Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely keep my eye out for that. I'm participating in a puzzle competition tomorrow morning. So maybe after that, I might go play some board games. We'll see how that works out, how that shakes out. Oh, Ex Libris is on TTS. Okay, that's cool. Oh, it might be on Tabletopia. Right. Tabletopia. Tabletopia exists. Hello. Ex Libris. No. Not on Tabletopia. That's all right. Yeah, we can play it on TTS. Yeah, so it's basically just an abstract game with a book theme pasted onto it. Oh yeah, Morgan's saying reading the book titles while waiting for other players is genuinely a fun part of the game. Nice. I love that. It's on the books themselves. Gotcha. Cool. Well, speaking of games, we could play. I think we talked about all the main things I wanted to talk about. We'll see. I'll see if I remember. Would anyone watching enjoy playing a game? We can also still just chat. We can chat about whatever. But maybe if you're interested, we could also play a game on Board Game Arena. Might need to be something fairly quick-ish. I don't want to be streaming for another 2 hours. But if it can be played under an hour, that would be cool. Yeah, no worries, actor. Yeah, so actor's down as usual. If anyone else wants to play, let me know. Otherwise, you can just watch. That's totally cool as well. Let's see. While I'm waiting for other volunteers, let's check out Board Game Arena and see what new games have been added. That's always fun. Hopefully one day Blob Party will be added. That would be cool. This is Board Game Arena. Let's see. What new games? Gatsby. That looks cool. Compete for Gatsby's gaze. Arena. See, oh, that's starting July 8th. Competitive mode on Board Game Arena. Oh, so it's a new season starting. Gotcha. So if there's a particular game that you're really good at, then you can join the arena. And then for every game that you lose, you get dropped down. Every game that you win, you get bumped up, and you're trying to like make it to the next level. But the people who play in those games are very, 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 very good. I tried to do this with Castles of Burgundy a few months ago, and I got absolutely wrecked. But it's a cool idea for sure. Scratch and catch. Disco Cats. An updated new edition of Parks. Is this different from the other updated new edition of Parks? I think that's just the regular updated edition. Ink. Ooh, that looks cool. Latest tile placement puzzle. Who designed this? Casper Lap. That name looks familiar. What did Casper Lap do? Let's go Board Game Arena. Or BGG. Casper Lap. How do I know that name? Casper Lap. Oh, no. Looking for a human. Casper Lap. Designers. Yes. What did they... Oh, Magic Maze. And that's not a hat. That's where I know that name from. Cool. Oh, they also did fun facts. Wow. That's cool. I haven't played Fun Facts, but I've heard it's a lot of fun. I have played Magic Maze. Well, there's a bunch of Magic Maze stuff here. Holy moly. Cool. Oh, thanks so much, Ted. Thank you. Yes, 8,000. Holy moly. Yeah, it's I can't really wrap my head around it. I think about, like, I try to visualize 8,000 people watching my videos, and it's just, I know not all 8,000 watch my videos, but like 8,000 people clicking the subscribe button. That's just crazy. These are some of the games I've played recently. We played Fromage. Me and my members played Fromage on Wednesday. Very cool game. Very cool game where it has a central board in the middle that rotates around like a Lazy Susan. And so you interact with whatever quadrant is facing you at the time, and then it'll rotate. And then you interact with that quadrant, and then it rotates. Very, very cool. But one of the coolest things about it, let me show you on BGGs. You can see pictures of it. One of the coolest things about it, though, is that when you place your worker in a quadrant and then it rotates, it takes that worker with the board. But then you'll get that worker back once it is facing towards you. And so depending on the direction that your cheese slice is facing, it's a little hard to explain. Hopefully you can understand what I'm saying. But like, see how this cheese slice is pointing to the left? That means, and if you place a worker on it, like once the first time you place it, then it rotates. Now it's pointing up that way. Then you rotate again, then it's pointing that way. You won't get this worker back until it's over here. So those spaces where the cheese slice is facing to the left, you won't get that worker back for 3 turns. And so you just need to be mindful about the timing, because you want to make sure you always get at least one worker back that you can work with, that you can place. And so these spaces are usually more valuable when they're facing to the left. They're worth more points. They're just better in general. But then you have to wait longer to get that worker back. And that is just such a smart mechanic. The way that you just wait till it points back to you and then you get it back. Very, very cool. Thanks so much, Ted. I really appreciate that. This is the first time I've seen these like little crowns in the YouTube chat. I love these little crowns they're giving you. You deserve it, kings. There you go. Oh, Morgan just played Fromage. Nice. Morgan wonders if the cheese theme came from the cheese slice shape of the piece they need for the mechanic. Yeah, I've wondered that too. I'm going to guess that they thought of the rotating board and interacting with the quadrants first. And yeah, I have a feeling the cheese theme came later. And I think you might be very right that once they figured out the triangular shape and then pointing back to you, they're like, wait a minute. That looks like a slice of pie or a wedge of cheese or a pizza slice or something like that. I think that's a very good call, Morgan. I think that's very, very good call. Yeah, it could have been a pizza for sure. There you go, Ted. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, there's already a bunch of pizza games there's Pizza Slice. What other pizza games are there? Sorry, not New York Slice. There's New York Slice. What other pizza games are there? Pizza. Oh. Well, there's a game called Pizza Box Football, Pizza Party, Pizza Theory, Pizza Box Baseball, Pizza Party, Pizza Master, Pizza Delivery, Pizza Chef. Okay. I guess there are a few pizza games. I only know New York Slice. There are multiple pizza parties. Pizza, yum, yum. Wow. Okay. I mean, granted, I haven't heard of a lot of these, but yeah, there are apparently a lot of pizza games. Has anyone heard of any of these games? And New York Slice won't even show up here because it doesn't have the word pizza in it. But that's probably the best known pizza game, I would say. Pizza Zombie, of course. Pizza Taxi. Pizza Pizza. Holy moly. Oh, yeah, Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. That's probably the best known, but it's not primarily pizza. Pizza's 1/5 of it. P for pizza. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of pizza games. Let's see how many cheese games there are though. Cheese games. Well, of course, there's cheese, and then there's cheese, cheese thief, cheese chasers, cheese master, cheese quest, cheese please, cheese factory, cheese comma please exclamation point, cheese Louise. Okay, let's see how many pages there are of cheese games. Oh, only one page. So yes, there's more pizza games than there are cheese games. I'm glad we figured that out. Pizza Pizza Yum Yum is a button shy game. No way. So Button Shy, they make very small, like micro games, and they are always having competitions for like 9-card games, 18-card games, postcard games. Very cool, and they have a lot of print and play games. So if you like to make micro size games, this would be a good publisher to pitch to, and also to participate in their competitions. Wow, there you go. 7.0. Yeah, Button Shy. Let's see. I'm assuming 9 cards. I don't think BGG shows a component list, do they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see if they say in the description. I'm not seeing it there. Very cool though. There you go. But yeah, the main pizza game I know of is New York Slice. This is a I Cut You Choose. I haven't played it, but I've heard of it. See here. I Cut You Choose. Makes sense. Pizza Wars Imperium. Was that one of the Pizza Wars? Oh my god. 1988. Conquer opposing imperiums while eating their pizza territories. Abundanza. What? Pizza Wars. Re-implemented from the original Pizza Wars. Re-implemented from the original Pizza Wars Imperium. So they're just re-implemented from each other. I love that. That's cool. A game of conquest and supremacy for gamers and pizza lovers alike. It requires a pizza, toppings, toothpicks, and one or more dice to play. Oh, okay. So it's you actually play with an actual pizza. Ah, that's amazing. I love that. All right, so who's down to play a game? If not me, an actor will play something. Oh, Mamma Mia. I haven't heard of that one. Mamma Mia. Load the pizza oven with topping after topping. Use your memory to fill the orders. That's cool. It's like a kid's game kind of thing. Oh, Uwe Rosenberg. Hello. Hello. That's cool. Um. Okay. Oh, the Ninja Turtles game. Nice. All right, cool. Okay, so yeah, so we could play Fromage. Me and Actor played that recently, so that should be easy to get into. Um and that won't take too long to play. And then y'all can see this really cool mechanic. So that might be fun. And if anyone else wants to join in, let me know ASAP, and then I'll send you you'll need to send me a friend request. My username is PamJam, PAMMJAMM, and then I can invite you to play. Yes, it is true. Actor is undefeated at Fromage. Yeah, he beat me. And he got like 90 ELO points just from beating me because my ELO was like 5 or something. But because he beat me and I had a higher ELO, he jumped up like 90. Crazy. Okay, no worries, Morgan. Hey, there you go. We'll play something else another time. Okay, I'm going to invite Actor, and let me know ASAP if anyone else wants to join in to play Fromage. Fromage est le jeu qu'on joue ce soir. No worries, Ted. All good, all good. Okay, so Actor. Okay. I don't think I've played 2-player Fromage, so this will be interesting, actually. We'll see how this goes. A lot of things will be blocked, I'm assuming. Okay. So, let's do full screen here. This is Fromage. On your turn, you can make cheese and gather resources. You can also use a milk parlor, but you need to... Oh, I start with 2 cows. Oh, interesting. So I could get this cheese right now if I wanted to. Very interesting, but you need to be able to place it right away, which I could. So I might do that. Actor's already done his turn. Okay, so these are the 4 different quadrants that you're going to be interacting with. This is the one that's facing me, so this is the one I'm currently interacting with. And then these are the resources I can gather. And so I can gather fruit, and then fruit is used to make fruited cheese, which is a little hard to see, but you can see this one needs jam. This one needs a fruit. And so if you have fruit, you can make fruited cheese or jam with cheese. And if you get a bunch of both at the end, they'll multiply together for points. So those are good to have. These are my orders that I'm trying to fulfill, and these do get you a lot of points. So this is something good to think about. And to fulfill this order, you need to place a white cheese facing that direction. And like I mentioned before, facing left, that means it'll take 3 turns to get back to me. So that'll be a commitment, but it will be worth points. So I'm just thinking now what I want to do. So basically I have a yellow cheese, a white cheese, and a blue cheese I can place. So this quadrant is all about area majority, area control. And so you're trying to get your player color cheese to be have the majority on the borders of these different regions. And so like right now with my blue cheese, I could go there. I could go there. I can't go there because I don't have any fruit, but I could collect fruit and then go there. With the yellow, I could go there or there. So you can rotate your cheese any way you want, just knowing if it goes left, it'll take longer to get back to you. But that's the better position because it is on 3, it borders 3 regions. So that's why it's so valuable. This one is only bordering 1. So you will get it back right away, but it's only bordering 1. So I want to make sure I will have cheese left over to use on this quadrant, because this quadrant gets you more orders, which is very important. So if I were to place a cheese here that faces left, I won't get it back by the time this is facing me, because this will get to me in 2 turns. Anyway, yada, yada, yada. I need to make a decision soon. So what I think I'll do, I think I will make cheese first. And I think I'm going to go right there. So then I'll get it back in 2 turns. So then I will be able to for sure at least have 1 for that quadrant. And it borders 2 regions. And it doesn't need fruit. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go confirm. I guess I also need to be thinking about this quadrant, but that's fine. So then we're going to gather resources. And now I'm going to think about which colored cheese I might... Well, it's for fruit. How much fruit do I really want? I also don't have to collect any fruit. Which, you know what? I don't think I will. I don't think I need fruit this early in the game. So I might not do that. But I could get this white cheese facing to the right and then complete that order. Which I think I might do. Because then I'll get that back right away. Oh, no, it was facing to the left. Sorry. I could go there. So I won't get that back for 3 rounds. But then I have the blue and the yellow coming back to me. I think I will do that. So I'm going to use the milk parlor to get this bonus cheese. I'm going to place it. And it's nice it highlights where you can go. So I could go there. I'm not going to go there because I already have that yellow guy bordering that region. I'm going to go here. Oh, wait. Oh, it doesn't need to face that same way. I thought it had to face that same way. It's actually not even highlighting that one. What the heck? Okay. Well, I thought the whole thing was it had to be that direction. Oh, because I'm looking at this, not that. Oh my God. Hello? Sorry. Yeah, good night, Ted. Thanks so much for popping by. No worries, Table Talk. Enjoy Sky Team. Is Sky Team on BGA? Okay, sorry. My wires got crossed there for a second. So I will be going here. And I will be confirming that. All right. Cruising right along. All right. We're not gathering resources. Thank you very much. Okay. So now you can see that automatically workers were returned to both Actor and I. It goes really fast, so it's hard to tell. But like I got my white cheese back because it's facing me. It was this one facing me. I get it back. And I didn't place my blue one. Okay, so I could buy structures. These do help a lot. They give you like upgrades in the game. So I could get 2 structures, which would leave a wedge to go here to get 3 orders. But then I won't be doing anything here, which I think might be fine. So if I get 2, I can get the barn, and then that basically gives me an extra space I can go to always get cows. This space, when gaining a fruit, you gain an additional fruit. Oh, I like this one. When placing cheese in the fromagerie, you gain an order card. So I could actually place a structure and place a cheese here and activate that. So I think I will do that. And I'll leave my white. It doesn't really matter, white or blue, really. I might leave the blue. No, because that needs to trade in. I don't have anything to trade in. This is gain any 1 resource. This is gain 2 of 2 different kinds of resources. Okay, so it doesn't super matter. We're going to gather resources first so that we can activate new structure. So let's do the white and we'll get 2. We'll confirm that. And then I'll ask which one I want to build. I want to build this one. And now we'll make cheese. And now because we're making cheese in the fromagerie, we'll get an order card because of that structure. So if I go here, I'll straight up get 3 points. If I go here, I'll get resources. I think I want to do that early in the game. So we'll do that. And actually, order cards count as resources. So I can actually get a resource card this way as well. I'll do that first, I guess. Yeah, so I'll get an order card, and I think I'll get fruit, maybe? Or should we get cow? I think I'll do fruit. Confirm. Yes. And then this is my loading dock bonus to get an extra order card. So that's great. Yes. Now we have 3 orders we can fulfill, and we can't do anything else, so the turn is done. Is this making sense? I know it can be a little confusing at first. Okay, so what was our plan here? Okay, we don't really need the order cards anymore because we have 3. I mean, it is nice to get them while you're there, because it's not great to not have any to like be out. So I could get some more there. I only have 1 cheese though, so I'm either getting cards or I'm placing here. So if I do place there, I could complete this one pointing to the right. None of those are yellow pointing to the right, so that's cool. So then I might as well just get orders. I will gather resources. I'm going to use that one. I think I'll get 2. Confirm. Let's see if I get any cheese back. No, I'm done. Yeah. I got 1 white cheese back. It is a little hard to keep track of. Okay, I'm going to get this back in 1. I'm going to get, where's my other one? This back in another one. And I've got this. So I will get 2 back next turn. White cheese. So if I can place it somewhere pointing to the left, that would be good. Okay, and I do have fruit. So I can do this one right here, which would be nice. So, okay, so I did not explain what these quadrants do. Like I said, this one's area control. This one, you just want to get one of your colored cheese on each of the shelves. This one, you want to try to get pairs of your cheese on each table. And this one, you're trying to get a path, an orthogonally connected path, as long as possible. And the more, like the cheese that will take longer to get back to you are connected to these wild spaces. So this will be any player's color. So like if I were to place here, this would already be a row of 3 because it's next to these 2 wilds. So I think I will do that because that will complete this guy as well. Or this guy, doesn't matter. So let's make cheese. Make some cheese. And we're going to go here. And we're allowed to go there because we have this fruit in our basket. This is going to go here now because we've made fruited cheese. We then need to make jam and cheese so these can multiply together. Otherwise, it's not worth anything. All right, confirm. Yay. Okay, now we complete either one. Doesn't matter. They're exactly the same. And we'll end our turn. Now it rotates again. Now we're back to the area control quadrant. I got my yellow and my blue. My white won't come back for 2 turns. Okay, so we want to complete white pointing left. So we could do that one. Yellow pointing right. We could do that one. All right, sorry, we don't have a white anyway. So yellow or blue pointing up. Yeah, we could do that one, and that would be nice because we don't have any presents down here. We have one there. We have one there. So that one could be nice. And then we'll get it back in 2 turns. We could also gather fruit first and then do this one. That one's not much more valuable than this, though. This is bordering 2. This is bordering 2, so I'm not sure why. Okay. So I'm just wondering if I should gather fruit first. I'm just not seeing how this one's more valuable than this one. Okay. Well, I think we need fruit anyway. So let's gather resources. Let's get some fruit. I don't know, 2? Are we going to get one back for sure? I don't think so. Let's do 1. So we for sure get that one back. We'll do that. That leaves us our blue one. And we're just going to go there because I don't see why I would waste fruit on that one because it's not any better than this one. So let's make cheese. And let's go right there. And then that will complete this one. Let's do that. Sweet. Okay. Now we should get our yellow one back. Yes. So that was good that we only took 1 fruit because otherwise we wouldn't have any cheese to place. Then we just would have lost a turn. Okay. So I'm not going to build a structure. I will be placing this cheese. And it will be going up or to the right. Let's do the up one. So then we'll have a blue one there and a blue one there. We'll go make cheese. And we'll do this one. Oh, I guess we could actually do this one. But I think we should do the ones, like, that's still open. So let's just leave that for now. Save our fruit till when we're stuck. And we'll do that. Yes. Complete our cheese. Yeah. Yeah. And now let's gain our resource. We should probably take another order card. Order card. Yes. Kind of seems like every time you place a cheese, you should try to be completing an order. So we got 2 orders from that, which is pretty sweet. And we'll end our turn. All right. Thank you, Nep. Yeah, that's where it is. Thank you. Spending fruit helps with your multiplier. Yes. That makes sense. So that's why I might want to do it. But I want, oh yeah, I did a jam. So I do want fruit. Yes. Okay. That is good to think about. Okay. So now we're not going to worry about the order cards there because we have 4 to work with. I think that's okay. Because once we get back to the fromagerie, we'll get... Oh, actually, we would only be getting 1 because we've now exhausted the get resource shelves. So maybe we should grab some more order cards. Not too many. This one I will be getting back in 1 turn. So we could take 2 order cards here. So we take 2 order cards. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, this quadrant you're trying to get pears. I don't have any on any tables right now. I do want fruited cheese to add to work with this multiplier. And I do want pointed left. So I could do something not very nice. And I think I need to because Actor, as he mentioned, is undefeated at this game. So I think I'm going to go here to block his pear. And it will be a fruited cheese, which helps with that. And it'll complete this one. So... sorry, not sorry. Hate the game, not the player. We're going here and we're confirming. Yes. Okay, and now we're going to use the blue one. Okay, and that is pointing left. Whoops. Okay, so this one, I will be getting that one back though. So we could get 2 orders here, which I believe I literally just said. So we're going to gather resources. Blue, 2, yes. Yes. Okay. Cruising now. So the end of the game is triggered by once any player has placed their last cheese. So there are only 8 turns, potentially 8 turns left. It could be less than that. If Actor plays more cheese. Actually, no. If you usually place 2 cheese per turn, that's only 4 turns left. Oh, excellent. So you're saying I have a chance. Apparently, I've been blocking Actor this whole game. So unintentionally, except for this one. Oh, sorry. I'm just gabbing over here instead of ending my turn. Okay. I have 1 yellow. Actor has 2. So he could speed up. Look at his yellow now. 119. Holy moly. I got 7. Okay. Make cheese or gather resources. I don't really care about the cows, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I got orders to complete over here. So this is the one with, we're trying to get as long of a connected row as possible. You see that some spaces are blocked because this is a 2-player game. So let's see what we have a yellow cheese. So we want to point to the right if possible. So we could do this one and then try to connect it later if possible. It's a little hard to see, but this yellow one is pointing the other direction. And we don't have any fruit anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's go make cheese. And let's do this one. Just confirming it's the right direction. Yes, confirm. And complete. And end turn. All right. All right. So I've completed 11 orders so far. And you'll notice this scoring thing here is actually wrong. We found this really confusing on our game on Wednesday. This scoring is wrong. The scoring in the rulebook is right. So this is showing that it's actually more than it really is. Yeah, for 6 cards it's. Oh wait, this is saying for 5 cards it's 11, which does match this. So maybe they changed it. I don't know. Okay, so we got a yellow and a blue. If we can have the blue face to the left, that would be ideal. Okay, and this is the fruit. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, let's get some fruit. Then we can have the blue go to the left and place a fruit, which would be great for this. We'll be getting a whole whopping 2 points out of our fruit and jam multiplier, but, you know, that's fine. Going there isn't, like, the most strategic because I already have a guy here and a guy here. So I don't really need it for this one, but I guess then... No, I don't really need it for either. Whatever, I think it's fine. Let's get our fruit first. So let's gather resources because we don't have any fruit. Let's gather resources. I think I might just get... Should I get 1 or 2? One is... Okay, I will be getting the white cheese back. And we have all white cheese orders here. I will be getting the white cheese, so maybe we should get 2 fruit. Thinking. Yeah, let's get two fruit. See if this works out for us. I'm going to do yellow, 2 fruit, and I'm doing that because I want to leave my blue one to go there. Let's go confirm. And now we're going to make some cheese. I'm going to make some fruited cheese. Please. Thank you. Okay, and that completed an order. End turn. Okay, we're almost done. We have our white cheese back. This is the one we're just trying to get 1 on each of the shelves. Pointing up. Do we want one pointing up? We do. Excellent. So we're just straight up going there. We're not going to overcomplicate things here. We're going to go make cheese. We're going to place. We're going to confirm. Nice and easy. Complete the order. Doesn't matter. They're the same, so we'll just do that one. We'll get our new order card. Yeah. It's always so scary when they say, "Are you sure?" Like you're doing something wrong. Like, yeah, I want the card. Like you would think that'd be like, "Are you sure you don't want this card?" Anyway. All right, so we have a yellow one back. Okay, Actor got his pair here. We don't have any yellow orders, unfortunately. We can't block him. So we could just go there, I guess. Or we just save it. Oh, yeah. I had a feeling he would block me there. That's funny. Oh, you know what? It doesn't even matter because I can go there with my fruit. So I'm not going to do anything in this quadrant. No, thank you. Next, please. Okay, so I'm going to go here, which will get me a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's pretty sweet. Oh, yeah, I guess he didn't necessarily block me. He was just adding to his path. Okay, so we're going to do make cheese. And this, unfortunately, doesn't help with any of this, but that's fine. I think this is the best play. This one. Now, do we want cows? No. I don't think so. Do we? That was a 3. If we get 2 cows, no, we need 3 cows to do anything with them. It's just too much. It's too expensive. So we're just going to say no. Oh, he only has 2 left. I probably should have taken the cows. Whoops. Okay. So this one I feel like we're doing well, I think. We have majority here. We have majority here. We have majority here. We don't have majority there. We don't have majority there. And it's all white cheese that we need to complete. We have 0 fruit, but we can get more fruit, which would be good for this situation. We're just currently doing 3 times 1, which is not great. If we can get a jam white, I don't see one. So if it's a fruit white, that's literally 4 points. Like that's nothing. But he might finish this soon here. Okay, there's a jam white over here. Oh no, we're already on that shelf, so there's no point in doing that. Let's just do a regular white cheese here, and then that will... No, I won't have the majority there, so what's the point of that? Don't know if there's a point in going there at all. I mean, it completes an order. It completes an... No, actually, no, it doesn't. I want to go up or to the right. Up or to the right. So that's this one. Okay, whatever. We're going to do that one. If we can get a jam next time, I guess that's something. So we need at least 2 fruit here. So we're going to gather resources first. We're going to gather resources. We're going to get blue 2 fruit. Yes. Then we're going to make cheese with the white one going up or to the right. So we could go there, but there's really no point going there because I have the majority. So I'm going to go here and maybe I can get at least match the majority over here. I don't know. But it does get the fruit. So that's something. Okay. Moving along. We'll do that one. We'll end the turn. Okay, still not done. Almost, though. Uh-oh, I ran out of cheese. Whoops. Oh, no. Whoops. Did not time that very well. Oh, only 1 cheese per turn. You're right. Even though you're... Only 1 cheese per turn, 2 workers. But you're placing up here with your cheese as well. You're placing cheese up here and cheese down here. That's 2 cheese per turn. Is it not? Sorry. And end my completely useless turn, fortunately. I was timing things so well until that last one. It's all right. So we've got one cheese left. We're trying to make some jam cheese here. Jam cheese, please. And if we can match it with one of these, white to the right or up. Not going to happen on the next quadrant. We were trying to do that one, but we don't have any. Oh, no. Dang it. I think this is final score. Oh, it's happening. Whoops, sorry. Yeah. Ah! That last turn. That last turn messed me up. Oh, I got a trophy. I'm an enthusiast. I'm here. Got the participant award. Thank you. Dang it. I messed that up. Only the milking parlor lets you place a second cheese. Well, no, you're making cheese, but then you're also placing a cheese token to gather resources. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Good game. Good game. Let's see the final situation. So, in the bistro, that was the tables with pairs. Somehow I got 4. I don't think I had any pairs. I didn't have any pairs. What? Oh, but I had one. I had 0 pairs, but I had one on a gold plate, so somehow that was 4 points. Okay, sweet. So it was 4 to 6 actually. Actor had way more on the plates, but they were all the lesser valued plates apparently, because they were the ones that came back to you in one turn. All right, I thought I would have lost more in that quadrant. At the festival, 20 to 12. That is this one, right? Oh, interesting. So I thought I was gonna do better for this one. Oh, he blocked me there. Dang it. Was that the denied? Is this what you're talking about? Denied? Dang it. Yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, and then 1. Oh, that messed me up. I think that last move won you the game. No, that's a worker token. Okay. Okay. The cheese token is what you leave behind when you recall your worker. Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, Nep says, it doesn't help that on BGA the workers are cheese-shaped. Yes, I agree. It's a little hard. It's a little hard visually on BGA, but that's all right. Oh, but they're cheese-shaped in person as well. Okay. Gotcha. I see. Well, you double denied, so. Okay, let's go back to here. Okay, so at the fromagerie, 7 and 9. That was this one. Interesting. Oh, okay. So because he had 2. Oh no, wait. Okay. I had 3 shelves. That's 5 points. But I got 7. Oh, 7 plus the extra 2 here. And then he's on 3, but because he got the points shelves, that's 4 plus 5 is 9. Dang it. I went for the resources, and I should have gone more for the points. Because I lost by 5, right? I lost by 5. So if I had gone for the points, I still wouldn't have won. That's all right. And then the Ville. Oh, yeah, I won on that one. That was the area control one. And then structures. Ooh, hello. 10 points for structures. Let's see actor's structures. So actor built all 4 structures. Are these worth points? Why'd you get... Oh, there it is. At the end of the game, gain 1 prestige per used livestock. Wow. They got 5? How the heck did you manage that? 8, 10 livestock. So that's the 10 points for the structures. Wow. Holy moly. And then fruit, we both got 4. Fruit and jam are so much work, and then you get like very little points, in my opinion. I completed a ton of orders and still didn't win. So apparently that's not always the winning strategy. And then 1 point per 2 unused resources. I got 1 point there. Cool. Cool. Yeah, gotcha. One of the boards makes it really easy to get fruit. I think oh no, I had the cow one. Cool. Well, that is Fromage, my friends. Cool game. Very cool game. Such a clever use of the board rotating and then whatever points back at you, you get back. That's just very, very cool. Yeah, I have a strong suspicion they thought of that and then they turned it into a cheese-based game, which just helps it even more. It's just such a cute theme. Love it. Yeah, Morgan, I feel like it might be maybe it might be different every time you play, but the orders do seem to be a nice little bonus thing that you get for things you're already going to do. But sometimes they can have you do things that might not be the most advantageous for that quadrant. Okay. All right, friends. I am going to sign out for the night. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope you play lots of games or relax or do whatever you want to do. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I unfortunately do not have a video for you this weekend. Just been very busy and then just recovering back from my trip. But I will definitely, most likely have a video for you next week. And then back to co-working streaming on Tuesdays. Okay, I will see you all later. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I hope you had fun. Bye.